My name is Jason, and I'm a failure.
I'm a failure too because I can't stop laughing. And I was supposed to. I completely failed. Whew, I'm
And I
so.
haven't put on my credit card yet. What's going on here?
I was trying so hard. I was trying so hard not to fail at that, but I did. And I have to say, um, oh God, now I can't even talk because all I can think about is my name is Jason and I'm a failure. Oh my gosh. All I can think about is eyebrow fails.
Oh
That's
man,
it.
that 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 was the Dolphins.
It, I don't think they were dolphins. Okay, so look. Hey, it's Lynn from crazypeach.com with Jason, and today we're talking about what was it? Failures. We
How to
failed to
fail and
succeed.
win.
How to fail and win. We failed to succeed. That just sounds so terrible.
And you may be wondering why are they laughing about failure? Because it doesn't matter. It's funny. You know what? If you're tripping on failure, if you're
Oh,
worried about failure, then you're never going to succeed because behind every failure is a success story, and you have to go. Well, you don't have to go through it. Some people are just successful, But however, a majority of us aren't, and so we have to start from a certain point, and we fail. But what happens in that failure is you find out what not to do. Okay, well, that sounds like a question. I'm gonna go and do it this way. So you have to embrace it and look at it. You're a problem solver as an entrepreneur. Look at it as I'm gonna solve this freaking problem right here. I'm gonna figure out a way to win.
that is right. And this was sparked by someone posting something on Facebook talking about how she was a failure. And it's like, dude, you're not a failure. The only reason or the only time you are a failure is when you stop trying. When you fail and you can't get yourself back up and jump over that hurdle and figure out what's working, what's not, and fix it, then yeah, you're a failure because you've just given up. So when you give up and you quit, that's when you're a failure. When you get up and you keep going, you're not a failure. You're just experiencing a setback. And setbacks can be, overcome. So that's
Oh,
what you need to do.
easily.
Easily.
I
And
thought it was. I thought this was spurred on by the eyebrow failure that we talked about yesterday.
I thought it was the other thing. So I gotta say, so Jason texted me yesterday and he's like, I gotta ask you a question. I'm thinking, what in the world is he gonna ask me? But I'm pretty open, so I was like, all right, whatever. Why do women wax their eyebrows? Was it why do women wax their eyebrows but wax them off?
Yes.
So I look at my eyebrows. I got full-on eyebrows. I don't even shape these suckers because I'm scared to be balded right there. I'm scared of it. I've seen too many women that have no eyebrows and, well, you just have to Google it. If you Google eyebrow fails, you'll see what we're talking about. So, yeah,
Yeah.
that's part of what the fail was.
Well, yeah, and it was, and the pictures you posted were like, wow.
That one that I sent you looked like Kimora Lee like 50 years from now. I was like, holy heck, why does she look like Kimora Lee? I was like, that's crazy. And she just looked like Kimora Lee drugged through prison and tattooed. I don't know. It was rough. Her face looked like somebody punched her a couple times
Like, what's really going on
with
here?
a
Can I
box
tell
of
you where
rocks.
where that came from?
What?
Can I tell you where that question came from? Because it's been on my mind for about a year now.
Well, I've been wondering too, and I'm a girl.
so, so you know what? Just a quick story, like the backstory of how this started, right? When I started in network marketing, I was like, I ran out of people to talk to, right? Ran out of friends, ran out of family, ran out of cousins, brothers, and all that kind of stuff, right? And so I was like, how can I meet people online to sell my product, right? I go, you know what?
Oh,
So
God.
I went and I went onto a free dating site and I
I
put
don't know the story, but
and I put a picture, and you of course start interacting with people, and and took a couple girls out on dates, and was like, oh, so do you keep your income options open? Horrible way to do business, right?
yeah. And by the way, are those your real eyebrows?
But as I was reading through all these profiles, I'm like, man, what's going? I mean, I'm seeing and hey, and I have nothing. There's nothing wrong, or there's not. I don't have anything against anybody who has tattooed eyebrows or shaded out. I love you guys. I love you. Just personally, not my thing, right? So, and I. It's like, okay, well, what's the kind of the point behind that? And you may be looking at me and saying, this guy has some caterpillars, growing on his face, right? Why do you? Who the hell is he to talk about somebody else's eyebrows? But point being said, right? It goes both ways. Maybe that's why I'm attracted to women with eyebrows. I mean, who knows, right? But
I got him. I'm keeping mine. I don't care what anyone says. I look like, what was that guy, Michael Dukakis? Dang, that just totally dated me.
That's taking it back.
That's all I can remember about that guy. His freaking eyebrows were like woolly mammoths on his
That's like 1984 stuff. Hey, below this video, there's a link. You can click that link, and it'll take you to another option, another video. You can go ahead and purchase what we're selling here. We're not going to tell you what we're selling. Just click the link, and you'll find out what it is. But yeah, Michael Dukakis, that goes back to, I think, 1984, right?
I don't think it was that long ago.
Oh, okay. Or is that Jesse Jackson? I don't know.
I don't know. I can't remember. Okay, Michael Dukakis might have been in '84. I'm not sure, but I just don't think I'm that old. So
maybe we should Google that along with maybe one day we should Google eyebrows on the Hangout so we can show people how ridiculous some of them are.
No, next time I'll demonstrate. We'll do this. I'll draw some little eyebrows on the index cards and hold them up. I do have to tell you.
I will try to sell those too, actually.
Yeah. Do you want your pre-shaped eyebrows stencil? Oh my gosh, eyebrow stencils.
Oh
that
my
is
goodness.
what we need to be selling. So I'm gonna make some eyebrow stencils, and if you want to buy them, hit me up to sell them. I'll shape them. I'll put curlicues in. You want a mustachio eyebrow? I could do that. You can handlebar.
Handlebars. The Mario Brothers little girls.
The Mario Brothers. Oh, I have to say though, I do know some women who do have that crazy, who have no eyebrows, but they do they draw them in or whatever.
Yeah.
And they look very nice. Like,
yes.
I don't even notice that they don't have eyebrows unless I'm staring at their face and I'm drunk and I'm like, are those pencils? I'll do that. But what happened to your eyebrows? What happened? I don't even know how that happens. It's just.
Yeah, I guess it's just one of those things. But see, and the kind of the tight end of what we're talking to is, no matter what you're trying to sell or what niche you're in, or remember what you're doing in life, you all make mistakes, right? We all make mistakes, but it's about how we pick ourselves up after we make those mistakes. And I think, a failure challenge is a way of testing you, your mental, your heart, your determination. Do you really desire what you want? And it's going to either make you or break you. And this is like the make or break point for a lot of people, because they will just go ahead and quit. They're like, okay, well, you know what? I can't do this. Because I failed one time doesn't mean you can't do that. I come from a sports atmosphere where I remember I was in the 8th grade, and I'm taking it way back, right? And we were playing this school called Valley Christian, and they had this little like nerdy kid, the big old glasses.
Aww.
He had the the stripes
strapped around, yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, I ain't worry about that kid. That kid torched me for like 20 points. He was his own player. Like, he was like Larry Bird in his prime, just like dropping dimes on me.
Underestimate that poor kid. He just, don't underestimate people. You just never know.
Anybody. He was just on fire, just like, boo, boo. But I could have quit after that game. But you know what? My dad sat me down and said, you know what? Don't let this get you down, because I know you're better than that, and don't underestimate anybody for the rest of your life. And so I don't. It was like a lesson, a life lesson right there, right? Anybody has the ability to do whatever they want to do, and don't underestimate anybody, because we all have the same abilities.
It's true, and some of us use them better than others. You just never know.
Yeah, we all have the potential,
Yeah, we do. That's funny. I was thinking about when you're talking about failures and how we can come back from that. I'm thinking the eyebrow thing still is like, even if you have plucked off all your eyebrows and you don't know how to draw them on, you can. That's not a failure. You can learn how to draw them on properly and look very sexy.
Yes, you can.
So I know we're joking about that, but.
And we love everybody. We love everybody.
It's just fun. Man, if you're not laughing about that, there's something wrong with you. I don't care.
No.
If you got eyebrows or you don't, it's still fucking funny. I did say the F word. I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep that under wraps, but
it is fucking funny. So it's really good.
So yeah, it's like if you accidentally over tweeze, it's okay. That's not a failure. You can fix that.
Yes.
Yeah. So anything in life, if you want something bad enough and you just are plugging away at it and you've got hurdles and setbacks, that's okay. Those are not failures. Those are all things that you can overcome. And don't forget to learn the lesson in the setback or the hurdle. That's where you fail if you don't pick up the lesson and move forward with it.
Definitely, and you know what? There's nothing that pulling out your credit card can't fix. So you have to be really comfortable with pulling out your credit card and just kind of opting in and just buying what we got, because we got some great stuff behind the curtain here. But on a more serious level, it is. No matter where you're at, what setback you're at, remember with what you think the odds are against you. You can fight beyond those odds and you can overcome those battles, because as much as you may think you're alone in this, we're all in this together. We all have our family battles, personal battles, spiritual battle, whatever kind of battle it may be. We all have our own battles and stuff from the outside world that comes into our inside world. We have to kind of, I guess, monetize and discern good from bad and what to deal with and how to deal with certain things. But if you're always at peace with yourself and have harmony with yourself, you will find the answers you're looking for. It just takes you asking the right questions, because if you ask the right questions, you get the right answers. And always think of a place, okay, well, how can I be better than this? How can I fix this? How can I become a better person from this? And then persevering from that point.
Yes, that's so true. It's funny you were talking about asking for what you want. There was something, I think it was Tony Robbins, and I can't remember exactly how the story went, but he was talking to a homeless guy who just asked him for a quarter or something like $25, and he's like, if you had asked for more, I would have given you more. If you ask more of the universe, you will get more from the universe. So be careful what you're asking for. If you're just asking for 25 cents, that's what you're gonna get.
Yes.
If you're asking for more than that, like wisdom and whatever, financial freedom, all that stuff, you got to ask for it. You got to know what you want. So yeah, I don't know how that tied into failure, but I thought
that's actually
I love that
really,
story.
Really great story. And I was in is it December, January. Ooh, maybe in January, before we went to Miami. I was in San Diego, and I was walking through downtown, and I found this little Mexican restaurant, because I love tacos and burritos.
Burritos.
I think we talked about burritos before too, right?
We did.
Yeah, it was a while back. And so
birthday.
I just love Mexican food, right? So I found this little hole-in-the-wall restaurant, and they usually have the best Mexican food,
Yeah.
And so I bought some food, and I was walking out, and I seen this lady there, and she was, of course, homeless and just really just distraught. And she kind of looked at me and asked me for some money. Well, I'm a believer in, I try to give as much as I can, because, money is a transfer of energy. So if you give it freely, you'll get it back just as freely.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes if you don't give, it's a block. But sometimes there's something that stops me from giving money, and I think it's just what I'm picking up from that person. So if I picked up something negative from a person, I won't give them money. But if I feel the vibe is positive, of course I'm going to extend myself to them. Even if I have if I only have $1, sometimes I'll give my last dollar to somebody, because it's only $1 and it'll come back to me, right?
Yeah.
And so this lady she was really distraught, and she asked me for some money, and I gave her a couple bucks. But it's funny because you mentioned that story, because I think a few days later, after after that, that Tony Robbins story was presented to me. I think it was on YouTube or something like that. And I was like, man, that's incredible, because I think he tied it into Jim Rome, and Jim Rome told him, make sure you carry a lot of money with you, just so you feel like you feel wealthy. And kind of I guess for me paraphrasing the story, but you wanna feel wealthy, you wanna tip wealthy, because as much as you freely as you give it, you'll get it back. And then that's when that homeless guy with that story, he pulled out a wad of money and said, if you ask more out of life, then in return you'll get what you asked for. And I I kind of hold that with me now when I go out, because where I live on the top of California, right? And so when I go down into the valley into California, it's in a rural, like a city, kind of a poorer city. There's a lot of homelessness there. And I used to run into a lot of people at the gas station who need something from me. I have $1 for some gas, or this and that and this, and I have $1. Here you go, here's $1, or something like that. I just kind of carry that with me from now on. But and this is a weird, right? I've always, even when I was a kid, I felt this. I don't want to call it divine intervention, but I always felt this need to help somebody if I picked up what I didn't know at the time, right? But I kind of like picked up on their vibe, their vibration, or their vibe, whatever they have going on. And if I felt it was positive, I'd help them out. And it's like, why are you giving that person money? He's homeless. Well, yeah, there's some people need help. They need a hand. And but if I felt negativity towards that, or something I just didn't want to associate myself with, I stay away. Even with friends that I've grew up with, if I felt just something bad, I just wouldn't want to be around. Yeah. Hey, let's go hang out. I'm like, nah, I'm cool, man. Just leave me alone.
I get that. Speaking of vibes and people that because I'm like that too. I'm crazy enough I saw a guy walking with he had 2 kids with him. He was coming from the grocery store, and his hands were full, and he's trying to cross this busy street. They're walking. They got kids. Or he's got kids, and I'm looking at my husband like, are you gonna pull over and like offer them we got a freaking Tahoe. They could have fit.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there looking at him like, are you gonna pull over? We could just give him a ride across the street or to wherever they're going. And obviously he needs help. He's got 2 little kids, and we don't see eye to eye on that kind of stuff, I guess. I'm different that way, and a lot of people are. A lot of people don't understand that need to give people money if they look like they need it. And I'm the same way with you. If I get that vibe, I will give them whatever I have. If I just bought lunch for myself and a guy is standing there needing something to eat, I will give him that food. I will give you clothes if I have them, or I'm that type of person. However, when you talk about people with the weird vibes, so one day I was in 7-Eleven with my sister, my mom, and we were in the car. We're parked, and we're getting ready to get out to go. We were just getting back in the car. So this old guy walks up to my sister. He's like, "Oh, babe, can you give me like $1?" He's like 50, 60 years old, and I'm looking at him because he's trying to pimp a little bit. I'm like, really? Just ask for the money if you need it. Yeah. And he's looking at me and my mom, and me and my mom are looking at him like, no, I got nothing for you. And he just like, oh, come on, you can't help a brother, whatever it was. And my sister, so she's so sweet. She's like, oh, you guys are so mean. Here, I'll give you like $5. I got like $5. So she gives him $5. He's like, oh, thanks, sister. I love you, blah, 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 blah. Because he needed to go buy gas for his car. So I turn around. I'm looking at my sister. I'm like, Loretta, look back there and let's see what car he gets into to fill up. This fool had like a Ferrari with a chick in it. With a chick sitting in the passenger seat. I'm like, you feel a little stupid right now? My mom and I were dying because he looked like the most homeless man in the world. Just, can I have some money? I'm so broke. And I looked back. I was like, oh my God, did you check out his car? How are you like panhandling when you drive a car like that? $5 is not going to get you anywhere anyway. But
that's his gig right there. He probably goes around and asks everybody for money so he can pay for his car.
He's probably the richest mofo on this planet because he does that. I'm gonna, I need to start doing that. I don't know, but that's going back to vibes. Like, no, I'm not giving you any money, and this is why, because you're shysty. You're driving a freaking Ferrari around and asking people that got no money for money. It's stupid. But
it just doesn't make any sense. But I moved. I moved from Santa Barbara, and you see a lot of that in that area. There's a lot of people who look like they have no money, but they have a lot of money.
Freaking
And so
man.
that's another way. You have to be careful with who you're dealing. You don't really know who you're talking to,
Yeah.
and all that good stuff. We're at our about a half an hour point. Do you want to break it for today?
Oh yeah, we're good because we're totally off topic. Anyway. Anyways, all right, it was good. I'm Lynn, crazypeach.com. Click the link below.
I am Jason, createflow.com. Pull out your card, click the link below. Let's join forces. We are out.
See ya.
How to fail and win. You can do it. You can do it.
Success.